Armenians in the Ottoman Empire mostly belonged to either the Armenian Apostolic Church or the Armenian Catholic Church. They were part of the Armenian millet until the Tanzimat reforms in the 19th century equalized all Ottoman citizens before the law. The Ottomans introduced a number of unique approaches to governing into the traditions of Islam. Islamic culture did not separate religious and secular matters. At first, the Sultan was the highest power in the land and had control over almost everything. However, a state organization began to take a more definite shape in the first half of the 16th century. Under Suleiman I, also known as lawgiver, the Ottomans visualized two separate establishments to share state power. One responsible for governing a nation's citizens and the other its military. The Ottomans left civic control to the civic institutions. Historians often label the Ottoman socio-political construct the Ottoman system. Noteworthy, however, the term Ottoman system conveys a sense of structural rigidity that probably was non-existent. Throughout the Ottoman period, the Armenian population's integration was partly due to the non-existent structural rigidity. Throughout the initial period, Armenian people, related to the issues of their own internal affairs, were administered by the civil administration. Townspeople, villagers and farmers formed a class called the Riaya, including Armenian Riaya. Civil and judicial administration was carried out under a separate parallel system of small municipal or rural units called kazars. The civil system was considered a check on the military system since beys, who represented executive authority on Riaya, could not carry out punishment without a sentence from the religious leader of the person. Also, Sultan was beyond the mentioned control. Ecumenical Patriarchate was the leader of the Armenian people. This whole structure was named Armenian case Armenian millet. During the Byzantine period, the Armenian Church was not allowed to operate in Constantinople, because the Greek Orthodox Church regarded the Armenian Church as heretical. With the establishment of Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, Armenians became religious leaders, and bureaucrats under the Ottoman Empire became more influential than just their own community. The idea that two separate establishments shared state power gave people a chance to occupy important positions: administrative, the religious, legal, and the social economic. Armenians occupied important posts within the Ottoman Empire. Artin Dudyam Pasha, who served as Minister of Foreign Affairs from 1876 to 1901, is one of many examples of Armenian citizens who played a fundamental role in the socio-political sphere of the Ottoman Empire. Certain elite Armenian families in the Ottoman Empire gained the trust of the sultans and were able to achieve important positions in the Ottoman government and the Ottoman economy, even though their numbers were small compared to the whole Ottoman Armenian population. This caused some resentment among Ottoman nationalists. The life of the rest of the common Armenians was a very difficult existence because they were treated as second-class citizens. Those elite Armenians that did achieve great success were individuals such as Abraham Pasha, who became the Ottoman Minister of State. Another man by the name of Kapriel Noradungaran became Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs of the Ottoman Empire. The Dardian family controlled the entire munitions industry in the Ottoman Empire. Kalausta Gulbenkian became one of the main advisors of the National Bank of Turkey and the Turkish Petroleum Corporation, which later became the Iraqi Oil Corporation. Historian A. Chumkatan writes, Armenian achievements in the empire was not only in trade. However, they were involved in almost all economic sectors and held the highest levels of responsibility. In the 19th century, various Armenian families became the Sultan's goldsmiths, Sultan's architects, and took over the currency reserves and the reserves of gold and silver, including customs duty. 16 of the 18 most important bankers in the Ottoman Empire were Armenian. After Constantinople fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453, the Patriarchate came to care more directly for all the Orthodox living in the Ottoman Empire. Hovajing I was at the time the Metropolitan of Bursa. In 1461, Hovajing I was brought to Constantinople by Sultan Mehmed II and established as the Armenian Patriarch of Constantinople, which the office was created solely with a political purpose. Sultan Mehmed II wanted Armenian-Greek separation. Constantinople became the real center of their ecclesiastical and national life. The Armenian Patriarch and not the Catholicos of Echmiadzin was their most important national dignitary. As part of Mehmed wish, in the Sultan's capital, lived the largest Armenian community in the world, and his civil ecclesiastical authority made the Sult